Grab some popcorn and Pepsi, my friends, while you're at it and enjoy the end of his dawah career. If there's an honest Muslim out there, unsubscribe and unfollow him on all of his social media accounts. Let's go.
شريعة مصاحة
الشريعة السمحة
مصاحة
السمحة
شريعة مصاحة
الشريعة السمحة
مصاحة
سمحة
شريعة مصاحة
الشريعة سمحاء
شريعة مصاحة
الشريعة السمحة.
Your trick, destroy. Destroy.
Finished and done, eh? You are the one who's a deceiver and you are the one who's cooked and done. You are finished, boy. Like your deceiving false god Allah and his fake prophet Muhammad, appealing to a modern footnote that contains a typo in it by forcing it into the actual hadith, pretending it's a hadith while using the footnote with the typo, the mistake, as your argument trying to refute Christians. Who uses Arabic typos and mistakes, my friend, as his argument in a debate? Well, this shaky wannabe sheikh, Uthman ibn Fibn footnote. That is the new nickname which we gave him. He truly earned it. Now, my friends, brace yourself for more deception from Ibn Fibn footnote. This Pakistani wannabe Arab sheikh who doesn't know Arabic still didn't publicly apologize to his gullible Muslim followers. So we need to remind him and everyone by giving you my take on the recent incidents in Balboa Park, San Diego, California. Muslims, do you think he would ever apologize to you for his lies and deception? Of course not. He is doing business. He is doing this for money and fame. When you are doing this for money, then the truth doesn't matter much, right? Right, ya shaky wannabe Sheikh Ibn footnote?
I'm just a student of knowledge, bro. Go home, pick up your Nahu books.
In this video, we're going to use his own words against him.
You're misquoting things, and poor people that are watching your videos are being misguided because you don't know enough to actually look up the book. Destroy. If they said this is not a part of the hadith, no problem. Khalas, my bad. But this is not a lie, it's not a deception.
Since he didn't apologize, now let me destroy him again, just to remind everyone the desperate tactics of these lying, bankrupt dawah boys. Muslims, the dawah is not working anymore. So the only goal of your Muslim heroes is using deception. And today, I'm going to make your fallen hero, the one you call a lion, Ibn Fibn footnote, I'm going to make him a little kitten. Just watch. As you see, this fraud, this wannabe Sheikh Uthman ibn Fibn footnote, this fake hadith expert claims that he has a master's degree in hadith science. I think he earned his master's degree at a dump site somewhere in Islamabad. As you see, here's the page with the hadith he brought up. The actual hadith is on top with a dividing line in the middle and the modern footnote of the editor in the bottom or below the hadith. As you see, Ibn footnote added the footnote into the hadith, claiming it's the actual hadith, which is not the fake printed abomination that he showed us on his paper. Shame on you, ya shaky sheikh. You manipulated the entire page and made it look like one entire hadith, just to deceive everyone by bringing in together the footnote and the hadith as if they are one, merging them together to deceive your Muslim gullible audience. How embarrassing, ya shaky sheikh. You truly have no honor or any dignity to play with the page like that. I truly feel sorry for your followers and subscribers. Ibn Footnote, who printed the paper, claims to have a master's in hadith studies.
From the Islamic University of Islamabad with a master's focused in hadith.
Didn't he realize that even the editor's footnote in the bottom, which he merged together with the actual hadith on top, says, "Dear reader"? Since when does a hadith says, "Dear reader"? Wait, it says, "Dear reader." Would such a guy not know the difference between a hadith and a modern editor's footnote if he claims to have a master's degree in hadith studies? And his Muslim followers are falling for his deception? Wow. And this footnote is also talking about modern days. It says, until now. how disgusting and embarrassing it is to corrupt such a hadith by a footnote, just to try to prove your point in a debate as a Muslim. Why do other Muslims not force him to apologize is the question that we need to ask ourselves. Well, clearly, Muslims love his lies and they know he's lying, and they clearly support his lies because they know there is no other way to defend Islam except by lying. Remember, without lies, Islam dies. Did this shaky wannabe sheikh from Pakistan forgot for a split second that everything is on the World Wide Web these days and recorded for everybody to see? Did he really not realize that his lies would backfire and expose him? Now, in a new panicked response video, Ibn Footnote here tried to cover up his lies by adding more lies and deception on top of his earlier lies. And that explains why no Muslim should listen to him anymore, or let alone go pray in his masjid in San Diego, if you call yourself a seeker of truth. Let's watch Uthman, what he said in his response video.
Academics, we don't Google. I use Maktaba Shamila, brought it with me, that showed it as a part of the hadith. If they say that no, this is a print error, then no problem. We can contact Darul Kutub Ilmiya and say you have a print error. If they said this is not a part of the hadith, no problem. We can look at the actual printed book, and if it's not, khalas, my bad. But this is not a lie, it's not a deception. I printed it directly, as you can see, from Maktaba Shamila and took it to them.
Khalas, that's it? That's it? No apology, no nothing? Oh wow. Print error? Yes, a print error only in your brains here, Ibn Footnote. You deliberately merged the editor's footnote together with the hadith. Yes, there is a print error, but the error is in the footnote, not in the hadith itself on top. Do you see what he's doing, my friends? What you see here on the screen that he provided is still not the hadith. It's the modern editor's footnote under the hadith in the bottom. What a liar and a deceiver. The print error in the editor's footnote says Ash-Shari'atul Masha, but it should have been Ash-Shari'atul Samha, because there is nothing called Ash-Shari'atul Masha in Islam.
Sharia Masaha.
الشريعة السمحة.
Masaha.
السمحة.
Sharia Masaha.
الشريعة السمحة.
Masaha.
سمحة.
Sharia Masaha.
الشريعة السمحاء.
Sharia Masaha.
الشريعة السمحة.
Your trick, destroy. Destroy. Academics, we don't Google. I use Maktaba Shamila.
But this liar exposed himself because he merged the editor's footnotes together with the hadith, calling it altogether the hadith, deliberately trying to deceive the Christian opponent during that discussion. That is your deception right there, ya shaky Sheikh Ibn Fibn Footnote. Shame on you. On top of that, as we mentioned earlier, the footnote is talking about modern times that you see on the screen. Man-made laws in our time, nowadays. And it says some countries have still, until now, not got rid of the habit of beating and torture. That is not what the hadith of Umar on top of the page says. That is still the footnote that you see here on the screen. This guy is still lying deliberately, or he's simply ignorant, a jahil, not knowing the difference between a modern footnote underneath the page and a hadith on top. Right, yeah, shaky sheikh?
In the Musannaf of Ibn Abi Shayba, volume number 6, page number 479. In the Musannaf of Ibn Abi Shayba, volume number 6, page number 479. This is the hadith sanadan. حدثنا أبو بكر حدثنا الوكيع المبارك الحسن عن عمر.
What a liar. No, you simply merged the hadith together with the modern footnote. You liar. Shame on you. Yeah, shaky Sheikh Ibn Fibn Footnote, can you add more lies on top of your other lies?
In fact, in the evidence-based, now again, this is evidence-based tafsir, ma'thur. It shows that Ibrahim al-Nikhai and Hassan al-Basri explained this word to mean those that were blessed, those that were chosen. Now, the ulama of Islam, based on these evidences, have said that Masih is a word that is used as a title, as it was for Jesus, peace and blessings be upon him, but it can be used يقصد به كل النبي. it can be reference to any prophet. And what is the ma'nahu, what is the meaning? Al-Mukhtar min Allah, the one who is chosen by Allah.
Here Ibn Footnote tried to force his own explanation in the tafsir of the scholars by corrupting the text again. If I was an honest Arabic-speaking Muslim, if they of course still exist in 2022, then I would have said, "Oh my Allah, he just deceived us again. He deceived his honorable Muslim subscribers for the second time, and he just played with the tafasir, ya akhwan. Ya akhwan, we need to expose this munafiq, this member of Ahlul Bid'ah, who tried to deceive us for the second time." I will try to make it as clear as possible and explain to you how Ibn Footnote corrupted the text and added his own explanation into the text, which is not there, of course. Again, he deceived. Now, as you see on the screen, the scholars try to explain what Al-Masih means in Islam, but differed on the meaning of the Messiah. But they did not say that other prophets are the Messiah as well. That is the bid'ah, that is the lie of Ibn Footnote into the text. He lies. The text doesn't say that at all. So let's see what the Arabic truly says, which he provided on a screen. The first one on top says, Ibrahim says Al-Masih, As-Siddiq, meaning the righteous. The second opinion says Musiha bil-Baraka, meaning he was wiped with blessing. The third one from Hassan al-Basri agreed with the last one and says his name is Al-Masih, meaning wiped with blessing. The fourth one disagrees with the three above opinions and says Al-Masih means Al-Malik, meaning the Messiah is the king. As you see, all of them describing the Messiah, a singular person, not prophets. You liar. As you see, Muhammad did not know what the Messiah meant, neither did Allah. So many years later, after the death of Muhammad, the fake prophet, Muslim scholars came to help their fraud prophet and fake Allah with their own opinions about the meaning of Messiah. And of course, like always, the scholars of Islam disagreed. But what else is new? And as you see, the scholars are talking about a singular person, meaning Jesus Christ, not other persons or let alone prophets. Yet this lying Google Sheikh Ibn Footnote says it's about all prophets by adding his own personal description underneath. Do you see the part in the bottom? That is his own text which he added underneath. The color is different, the font is different, as you see. I think we can safely say that Ibn Footnote is the new messenger of Islam, because clearly he thinks that he is receiving divine revelation just like his fraud Prophet Muhammad 1400 years ago. Ya Muslimun, can you still call Uthman ibn Footnote a Muslim? If that's the case, anyone then can have his own version of Islam these days and get away with it. The quote in the bottom that he added extra is not a tafsir at all. He stole and copied this quote from a modern website called Islam Q&A. He slightly modified it and added it underneath on the screen to deceive his own audience once again. As you see, Ibn Footnote tried to save face by duct taping and lying even more on top of his earlier lies to save his already ended da'wah career. So what he copied from the Islam Q&A website are modern Muslims saying that the Messiah is a Jewish title that may refer to any prophet, and every Jewish king was called a Messiah. But that's not a source from an Islamic book or tafsir. These are simply Muslims of today who are talking on a website, a modern article, thread, or post. This is not what the Islamic books are saying, my friends. He just copied that quote from other Muslims from the internet and forced it inside the book once again. Oh boy, what a deceiver, man. What is going on with this Google Sheikh and using modern footnotes and people's articles and wording who are talking about Jewish beliefs, pretending they are from actual hadiths or Islamic books. How embarrassing and shocking this must be for any Muslim now to see. Why are you following such a deceiver? Why are you allowing yourself to be deceived by this Google Sheikh, this wannabe Arab who does not know Arabic, not knowing the difference between a modern footnote and an actual hadith, and continue lying and deceiving his way on YouTube?
This is the evidence-based response. Now, if they were sincere, they would have said yes. In our own book, we have others called Masih, so done. No, but this is insincerity. They were like, no, in the Quran and Hadith. Oh, you look nervous, bro. Relax, man. I got you.
You look nervous,
do I look nervous, or was he one shaking right now?
Yeah,
all right.
we're gonna have fun with
So,
this.
we are.
We're gonna have fun with this.
We are.